professor, I will test you in the worst way. Don't bring that scantron, it's pop quizzes all day. Cause of our chemistry, we do biology.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. You could be black, but you ain't SWAC. So I went to Southern University in Texas Southern. And, you know, my older cousin who got me really into the SWAC, he went to Mississippi Valley. So this thing that happened between Coach Prime and Coach Robinson Jr., the press conference when Coach said, he ain't SWAC. Now, he loved what he's doing, but he ain't SWAC. I understand what you're saying, Coach. He wasn't raised up in the SWAC system. I get it. But here's the problem. And you've been around long enough to know this. The SWAC has some interesting things going on in the SWAC that are not black, pro-black, or care about being black. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about there was a time in the SWAC where it was a novelty to have a white quarterback. And even if that white quarterback, to the detriment of the team, because if he was better than your actual backup quarterback, it made sense. But you had quarterbacks who weren't better than the backup, and you benched the better quarterback because you wanted a white guy. That happened in the SWAC, did it not? Did it not? It did. But hey, this was years before Prime ever showed up. Because he ain't SWAC. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how some of y'all coaches, position coaches, all kinds of coaches, staff members, had players who were pretty good. But you was in a certain frat and he wasn't. He can't get in the game. Oh, let's talk about it. Because he was black. He was in a frat, but he wasn't SWAC. Or, people got hip to that game and they started joining a fraternity. I'm a whatever you are, coach. All right, frat, I'm gonna look out for you. You can play now. They was black at the detriment of other people. Some of those people were actually good. Some of those people were great players and they deserved everything they got. But some of them knew, look, man, I might have earned this spot, but I might want to join this fraternity just in case, because I've seen how this happened before. But hey, that's black, but it ain't SWAC. Let's talk about how there were numerous guys who had a good year, who the scouts started looking at. Oh yeah, the scouts started, and they're going to go to the NFL. And then somehow, that next year, their junior, senior year, you put somebody else in their position. Interesting, ain't it? Like, wasn't grades, because you didn't want them to have egos. You didn't want them to be confident. You didn't want them to say, I'm going to the league. So, bench them, kick them off the team, get rid of them, create a problem with him because, he's black, but he wasn't SWAC. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of some of these things. This is why some players would transfer. Hear me out. There were some players that went to predominantly white institutions that and something happened at their school and they wanted to transfer. You know why? And some of them went to HBCUs, but you know what the problem was? If he transferred from a predominantly white school, and he was actually good, I'ma bench him. He think he better than us. He should have came here in the first place. We ain't gonna, no. Y'all ruined a lot of people like that. This is why people was going to those smaller schools that you would consider off-brand conferences. Because, hey, They was black and they transferred, but they wasn't SWAC. But can we take it there with this other stuff? What about coaches sabotaging players because everybody had a gimmick at a certain time? The gimmick wasn't the game. The gimmick was the coach's gimmick. It's like, okay. So the coach became bigger than the team. And the players had dreams and goals, but guess what? If it didn't align with the coach's gimmick, you can't rock with you. Because, hey, we all black, but you ain't SWAC. We're going to talk about that part? We're going to talk about why your alumni who is great don't want to come back at times because of how y'all treated them as players. And then they left. And they're like, and then they came back to the school and said, I want to reinvest in the school, and still watched you treat the players there the same way you treated them. And they said, I'm checking out. I'm not helping you because you ain't learned your lesson. Y'all going to brag on this particular player. We got greatness coming from the school. But you dogged that greatness when it was there. And then when it left, you tell everybody how great they was, but you forget to tell everybody. But they come back to see you dogging people like you dogged them. It's like you ain't learned your lesson. I'm not helping you. I'm not going to support you dogging people instead of lifting them up. And they was all black. But I guess that, but hey, they wasn't SWAC. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, or die. Try and catch y'all on the next one. Peace.